So the first character that we're introduced to is Trailblazer. She's a group home and foster kid. We picked the name Trailblazer because she's somebody who charges into action. She knows that she can do some good with this, mysterious gift that she's been given.
Dana, why? Why are you back at it again? How many times must we teach you this lesson? Now, since I very kindly pointed out the absurdity of Dana Schwartz's terrible opinions on South Park, she has since blocked me. I was keeping an eye on her posts, just enjoying them like any other red-blooded human being who loves Marvel. Now, Dana Schwartz is in charge of a brand new Marvel series, Disney Plus, on Disney Plus for She-Hulk. And people are becoming more and more interested in what she has to say exclusively for that reason. This is the primary ego problem. Look, comic book writers, comic book personalities, if you actually care why there's such a disconnect between you having 1 million followers on Twitter and getting 37 likes on your Drumpf tweets and not understanding why people follow you, it's not for your political hot takes. It's not for your Instagram photos of food you're eating. We follow you because you write Spider-Man or you write She-Hulk or you're in charge of an IP that we're really fans of. We don't care really about your personal opinions about anything outside that IP. I know it's difficult to understand, but even me on a much smaller level, a very small percentage of my viewers would watch a Jeremy cooks spaghetti video. Although I know ironically it might be kind of funny, but I get my role here. My role is to be the clown and to dance, be the jester and dance. That's my job. I've accepted that, and in fact, it is a great honor. But Dana Schwartz seems to think her opinion matters more than anybody and decided to go after male comic book fans this weekend. Now, this is the original article here. Remember her saying, in retrospect, it's impossible to overstate the cultural damage done by South Park. The show that portrayed earnestness as the only sin and taught the mock that mockery is the ultimate inoculation against all criticism. This is coming from somebody who refers to anyone who criticizes her generally as a man, but also as a troll. So it's interesting how, I don't know, dumb this opinion looks now in retrospect, doesn't it, Dana? You continue. Smugness is not the same thing as intelligence. Pfft, you're telling me. Provocation isn't the same thing as bravery. The lesser of two evils aren't the same. Well, Dana Schwartz, I'm shocked you had this opinion, of course, because now we have you say men need to take a breath. See, this is the primary idiocy of this tweet. You are approaching one random person's comment on the internet and projecting their opinion on all men. All of them. In fact, you don't even know that this person is a man. Quote, men really need to take a breath. So where on your Instagram is there a mention that you're passionate about comics? In a medium where frauds are spotted like criminals casing a bank, how do you truly believe you'll write something interesting? I would say good luck, but that would imply you care beyond your own upward mobility. So how about don't mess up an iconic character created by a company that has grown the IP for nearly 50 years? This is something that most of these new age millennial comic book artists, the problem is they don't have any respect for the work that was done before them, and many of them just think they know better. That's how you get books like Gotham High, where you turn Batman into somebody from Hong Kong because you thought it would be fun. Yes, that's an exact quote from the author. Dana Schwartz continues, oh no, he doubled down. The point of my seething protest is that I can smell the disingenuous agenda-driven persona, and I would like the writer to the stunning and brave guts to tell me why she is motivated to write about a comic book character. Sure, hope that answer isn't about cash and feminist agenda, because that would be selfish, wouldn't it? She then continues, earnest question, do male writers deal with this? Also imagine seriously believing anyone got into comics for the money lull. Well, I don't know. There are plenty of millionaires in the comic book industry, and there are plenty of multi-millionaires in the comic book industry who ended up having their comics, I don't know, turned into a TV series or a movie. You're joking, right, Dana Schwartz? You're joking, right? You're acting like you are taking a vow of poverty to write for one of the largest companies in the world, Marvel and Disney, all right? And to answer your ridiculous question, first of all, this is somebody who assumed because it was an opinion they disagreed with, it must be coming from a man. Yes, male writers do go through this. Did you not just see what Kibblesmith went through this last week with the New Warriors? Everybody was roasting that dude from every inch of the planet, wondering if he was interested in comic books. You're joking, right? She continues. The idea that I need to somehow prove my worthiness in order to work in a certain genre is incredibly toxic and also very sexist. Oh, I don't know, like assuming anyone who criticizes you must be a male and then telling all men to calm down? Would that be, like, how do you have this level of intellectual dishonesty? I mean, seriously, somebody answer me in the comments. Are you insane? You're a sociopath. The only people to whom I need to explain my experience, my credentials, and my passions are the people who hired me. True. That is true. Except that's not how it works in real life. When you get to take control of a decades-old IP with an existing fan base, I would argue that, yes, you do need to earn their respect. I don't know why this seems so simple to me and all of you out there. It's like, why aren't we all multimillionaires? How can Dana Schwartz have a job working for Marvel and Disney, and all of us are sitting at home like, I mean, what? Back the dump truck of money up to my house, Marvel. I'll get all of your writers in order. Guess what? You'll respect the existing fans. Guess what? You won't call them toxic. You won't argue with them on Twitter. You won't block them. You'll simply mute them, exist, and sell my product. And if you don't like it, you can go work for yourself. It's a successful path. A guy like Ethan Van Sciver is going to be a millionaire selling Cyberfrog. You've got Richard C. Meyer making hundreds of thousands of dollars on his own properties. You don't need to work for Marvel. You can go work on your own if you want to be an anti-consumer moron. Why won't these companies simply say that? Quote, fan, by the way, so now she's saying they're not really fans. Gatekeeping is profoundly toxic subculture. The people who think enjoying a thing gives them ownership over it. No, we don't own it in any official capacity. But Dana Schwartz will be the same person whining that anybody who doesn't buy her book is toxic, even though this is the adversarial relationship that Dana Schwartz would like to portray onto comic book fans, exclusively men. Oh, by the way, men buy like 95% of comics. I don't care what these Hollywood press releases say. Go to a comic book shop.
You should stop being so mean to
women.
Well, I suppose you could buy your comics somewhere else. Maybe they sell comics at the dry cleaners.
It's just like when I played Magic the Gathering and that fool Mark Rosewater tried telling Magic players that Magic players were 40% women. I'd go to a Grand Prix with 10,000 attendees, 15,000 people in the arena, and there'd be like 45 women, all right? And most of them, if this is an inconvenient truth, were there with their boyfriends or just into it for the art, which is also fine. I wish there were more women in Magic the Gathering. I wish there were more women in comic books. Unfortunately, this is an inconvenient truth for a lot of these people. They just don't like them. By the way, in before she writes another piece on like the Washington Post about how she criticized toxic fandom, and now in before she writes this piece and says, and then I was bombarded by trolls. You can always see somebody show like their whole rear when they call anybody who criticizes them trolls. She continues on. Okay, I'm only posting this here because now this guy has finally shown the truth. He is terrified at the prospect that a woman might actually genuinely love writing the same characters he enjoys. It would tear his worldview apart. Again, at no point has he identified as a male. So, Dana Schwartz, not very inclusive of you. You should be using they, them pronouns. It's fine, Dana. Most human beings will not be watching your She-Hulk. Fact. To answer your question, when people bought comics, they were excited about the creators. Jim Lee, for example, a man but Asian that should temper your rage, was inspiring to young readers, girls and boys. The reason he was inspiring, he was driven and passionate about the characters he created and the stories he told that fit the classic storytelling tropes. So, but I thought Dana said he said it was because he was just a man. When he created Image with Liefeld and McFarlane et al., they made a lot of money. The passion drove the profit. The comic success stories stem from the fact that the writer is creating something out of joy, not hateful or agenda. Wait a minute. At what point is he saying that it's because she's a woman? I'm waiting for that. Dana Schwartz. What have I created? Nothing. That's not my job. However, I'm a consumer of the products you are going to try to sell me. My larger point, wouldn't it be easier for you to write the stories you want to write and not try to force your way into an industry full of consumers who don't want the junk you write? So again, another hilarious, disingenuous representation of the point. I'm like 2 days away buying silk pajamas. Someone please give me $224 so I can buy this dry clean this gorgeous nightmare. If you Venmo me, I will buy them. Okay, someone gave me the money. Simp! 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 How do you simp for this woman who clearly hates men? All right, to me, it's in her words. It's in how she assumes only, opinions she disagrees with must be coming from a man. It's how she treats the fandoms. She seems like a vile person, in my opinion. But I'm just a man, so I guess it doesn't matter. I hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait to report how your project completely fails, Dana Schwartz. We'll talk to you again real soon.